Hey, this is the Pizza here, and this is some Warhammer Online PvP. So this is the first time I've actually shown any PvP from an MMO game. And what I did here was, I heard rumors that you could level up your character completely off of PvP. And so you know what, I decided, let me try that. So at the very beginning of the video, I'm level 1 right now, haven't completed a single quest. And any experience that you saw in my experience bar already was from exploring new areas as I was traveling to the PvP zone. And there are two different types of PvP in this game. There's open realm, and then there's scenarios. And scenarios are basically arenas where you have to wait in a queue until you have a position open and can enter a scenario, and then two teams fight against each other for a set amount of time. And you can't, just go in and out of a scenario whenever you please. And right here I'm also playing on a it's a mage type character. I forgot the name of it though. It's a sorcerer, but what's the race? I think it was dark elf. Yeah. And so, and it is a man character. Kind of looks like a girl because of the long gray hair and the purplish robe, purple pink robe. Yeah. Kind of realized that as I was playing. I was like, this character looks like a woman, and it's a man. Kind of creepy. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. There are two types of PvP. There's scenario and open RvR. This is the open RvR, and basically, if you pause the video when I open up the map, and I open it many times in this video, so don't worry if you don't catch that one instance like right now. You see that red outline around this area. The red outline is the open RvR zone. Basically, you can run in and go straight into PvP. Now, here's the funny thing. Me and this one guy have a little 1v1 battle, but unfortunately he is a rune priest, I believe. So the little R next to his name means, and what that means is he's going to be able to heal himself. So, and I can't because I don't have any potions. So I'm inevitably going to lose because I just can't heal myself. Oh, and there's no mana in this game. Instead they have action points, which is essentially the same thing. Yeah, so I lose in that little battle. He probably had better gear too, because I was still going off the starting gear. So they have action points, and it's basically their mana system, but they call it action points. So, and when I first started playing, I had no idea. Like, I was like, where's the mana? Where's the mana? Because, all the RPGs I've played, it's always been mana. Well, except for Knights of the Old Republic. That was, pretty sure that was action. Well, no, it wasn't really action points. It was. Anyway, back to getting on topic. The action points are in the little yellow bar underneath the health bar. So you can see here the countdown starts, and when that countdown is over, I will be flagged for RvR combat. RvR stands for Realm versus Realm. I think I forgot to specify that earlier. And you see all those enemies, so I'm just like, okay, we need to back off right now, because we're going to get slaughtered. And all those NPCs standing up at the top of the cliff are very powerful and will easily be able to take out any of these guys. And also, there's a lot of things to say about open RvR. Another thing is, when you go into an open RvR area, you'll notice that, if you can read it, which I'm not sure if you can, but my health goes way up and I do a lot more damage as soon as I enter open RvR, and that's because it automatically, in this particular open RvR zone, sets you to level 11. So everyone is the same level, and what really makes the difference is their gear. And obviously, since I'm level 1, I have the worst gear. And you saw there I just advanced to Renown rank 2, and this is in my little endless trial video, the not so endless trial. I said that I heard something about levels and ranks, and this is what I was thinking of, but I didn't get the terminology correct. There's ranks, which are basically levels, and then there's renown ranks, which are your PvP levels. And you can get some pretty nice gear through your renown ranks if you go up to the. There's a merchant in the war camps, and war camps are the towns right outside the open RvR zones where you respawn and where you can buy equipment, potions, anything you want really. And so there's some pretty nice gear there. And all you have to do is, you know, get your renown ranks up, and then buy it. And it really doesn't cost too much. And also you do get loot from PvP, which is quite interesting. Sometimes you can actually get some really good gear. So far, I've seen that most of the gear that drops in this zone is level 12, which I'm assuming is because they would think most people that are in this RvR zone, because it's designed for roughly level 10 to 11 people, which is why it auto sets you to that. And of course I went in here at level 1. And the gear that drops in here is usually level 12. And here I skipped ahead to show what happens when you capture a point, and I haven't even gotten to explaining the whole system yet. So here you see the scenery changed, the statue changed, I think, and it looks more destruction instead of the Empire skulls on pikes. Yeah, so now getting to the point capturing system, it's to just make an analogy, if you ever played Call of Duty, it's kind of like domination. If you haven't played Call of Duty, let me just explain. There are 3 flags on the map, and you have to try to fight the enemy off the flags and stand around them for a certain period of time to control them. Here you see we have a quite large group of people, and I don't believe there's a player limit for Open RvR, so there can be, you know, 500 versus 500 if, you know, everyone decided to just, hey, why not go into this one particular Open RvR scenario? Although the server would probably be really laggy. And so it's a little complex though, the way they have the system set up. So if an enemy's controlling a territory and they've just captured it, they have a 15-minute period where you cannot recapture it. They control that point for 15 minutes no matter what. And I believe the amount of control in this Open RvR area gives bonuses to all players in this zone. So it actually is a pretty good idea to fight for this Open RvR, and plus it's actually pretty fun. And another thing that's interesting is there's collision detection among other players when you're in combat. Right now I'm not in combat, so there's no collision detection. And they have cannons up on the ridge too that are firing down at us, and I think you'll see those shortly. And so yeah, there's collision detection, and it actually makes for some interesting scenarios where you have your tanks up in front that are actually able to block the enemy from going towards your more squishy people. And you can hear the cannons going off in the background. It's the tri-shot cannons. You can see the explosions too. And I just got hit by it. So back to the 3-point system. Like I said, after 15 minutes have passed, then it's open to be captured. So anyone can capture it at that point. You can retake it at that point, I should say. And then after 30 minutes have passed, if it's still under the control of the people who've had it for 30 minutes, then I believe it goes neutral. Now, in all the Open RvR scenarios I've been in, they've never lasted 30 minutes without being captured. So I'm not sure, but I'm fairly certain that it goes to a neutral status, and whoever gets it first just gets it. And you have to stand around it for 3 minutes to capture it, so it's a pretty decent time and gives the enemy time to make a planned attack. And almost every time you capture a point, there will be a counter attack. Well, not capture a point, but every time you attack a point and drive the enemy out, they'll probably do a counter attack. And if you're not ready for it, you will get wiped out. So yeah, here's when I recognize my character looks like a lady. Just wonderful. And I'm also running over to the docks because this area is about to be ready to be captured. And we currently control the docks. And you can see the times for all the areas on the map, and here I get attacked because some Empire had the same idea as me. They were waiting around for the area to be able to be captured so they can take it as soon as possible. And one thing you also want to do when you're in Open RvR, which I didn't do for a while, was you want to join a group, because then you share the experience and renown points and loot, as you saw right there. You can see the group on the side, and I believe you can join a group without them even having to accept it, but to join their party you have to accept it. I don't know, it's this game's got some interesting aspects to it with the systems they put in. And So I just switched to another big battle we had going on here. It was a pretty nice fight. We had a actually fairly even battle going on right outside of our base. What the battles usually come down to is both groups kind of holding back, just waiting for someone to make the wrong move and then kill them. And then, you know, they just respawn and run back, so it doesn't really matter. But sometimes you get these really good battles where both of the armies are just fighting each other non-stop. There's constantly people running back and forth, heals going out everywhere, spells flying around, AoE attacks going off. It's crazy. And so yeah, there's some of the loot. I'm not sure what the Skull of the Fallen does. Haven't quite figured it out yet. Because like I said, I'm well, not like I said, but as you can tell, I'm new to this game, of course. And I'm probably not going to play past the Endless Trial, which would be level 10. And also, your renown rank cannot be higher than your actual rank, which would be your level. So right now I think I'm level 4 or 5, and you can see my renown bar, which is the purple bar on the top left of the screen. My renown bar is already filled up, and what it does is it sets it 1 point below what you actually need. And then as soon as you level up, you get your renown rank. Well, I did, because when you kill someone you get experience and renown experience. And so as soon as I killed someone I got enough renown to level up. And also you gain influence for killing enemies, and influence will let you get some nice gear from one of the guys at they're at the camp, and they basically give influence rewards, which will get better the more influence you have, and you can also gain influence through public quests. And so here's when the battle really gets good. You see we got enemies from both sides charging straight into each other's armies. And it's pretty cool because we're just fighting it out, and I'm of course sitting back just casting my spell that's locked onto my one key over and over and over again. And I'm not sure if height gives you a range advantage. That'd be pretty cool if it did. But height definitely gives you an advantage in this game. Unlike some games where height means absolutely nothing, it definitely gives you an advantage here. I'm not sure if it's a range advantage though. Although I think it is, because I remember a while ago seeing a video when this was still in beta. There was an archer standing on top of a cliff firing down at another archer who couldn't hit him because he was out of range. So I think height does give you a range advantage, which, if so, that also adds another strategic element to controlling the top of the hill there, which at the top of the hill is one of the control points. So that's basically the overview of RvR. I probably missed something because there's so much to say about it. Also, you'll see the ability that's onto the 0 key. It's a flee, and it basically lets you spend, I think, all of your action points. If not all, then it's half. And you run away, and it increases your movement speed. And you're also panicked, which I think is what it means when you lose all your action points. You have an increased movement speed, and you can get away out of combat fairly easily by doing that, but the enemy, if they have ranged attacks, will easily be able to kill you. And even if they don't, if they're some sort of warrior, then they'll just do some sort of slow on you, or throw their weapon at you. Which I noticed that even the enemy could do this sort of throwing an axe at you type thing. Like the Choppa could do the fling Choppa. I noticed that enemies in the Empire side can also do something similar to that. I'm not sure what class it was, but they can. So, and they'd actually kill me one way that time because I was swimming away from them as fast as I could, but I didn't quite make it. So, here's the little battle, and I die, and that's gonna be the end of the video. So I'll see you next time.